welcome to today's
FAM
360 newscast. Today's topic is none other than the 100-year-long war.
On our live camera feed, we have a video of the grueling beginning of what seems to be the 100-year-long war.
As we know, the French and the English have a long-lasting feud, which we also know started into the mid to late 1300s. We also know that the sad death of Charles IX and how he left the crown without an heir. This meant there was a vacant crown. An English man by the name of Edward III was in the younger branch of the royal family. Which means he was not next in line for the crown. So he decided to take advantage of the open crown and said that he comes from royal blood, which means he deserves the crown. Though a Frenchman by the name of Valois, he's kind of a butthole, but he's also not at the same time. He took the crown, so these two men from two different countries going after one crown caused what we know all.
This person, they said that the English are on her tail. They also are threatening to capture and perform a witch trial on her due to the fact that she claims she has visions. Due to her military conquests and victories in Orleans, English soldiers are beginning to become furious and reaching to great lengths in order to capture this French fugitive.
Milo will keep us posted on the deeds. We got a new update from the 100-year-long war. It's the Battle of the Poitiers. The Black Prince and King John I, or King John Un, are battling out currently a little bit east of the Moisen River. In order to save King John of France's title, he was forced to accept the Treaty of Calais that also granted complete independence. The battle's overall point was to gain independence over the land.
Well, that sums up our 11 o'clock wrap-up of the week. We'll tune in next week as we dish out the biggest news of the 100-year-long
Hi guys, it's me here, Flynn from FAM, and here's our best friend, Mila. Well, yeah. And we are today sadly missing our wonderful person named Avery Dickerson. Okay, anyways, we're going to talk a little bit more about the witch trials and how they performed them and what they did to test if they were a witch or not. So, the first trial they did to test if they were a witch was the swimming test. The swimming test is, so the victim they were put near the nearest body of water, and they were stripped down to their undergarments, which is weird. Anyways, they tied them up and then threw them in the river or the lake, and if they sunk, they were a witch because therefore the god is rejecting them from earth. And if they float, they are not a witch. So, I don't know. So usually they were accused of being a witch because, yeah. Anyways, that is how they tested if they were a witch or not. Mila, you go ahead with the witch cakes.
Another way they tested to see if they were a witch was witch cakes, which is where they would take their urine and they put it with ashes, just random ashes, not theirs, but then they would feed it to a dog, and if the dog was like throwing up and sick and possessed, stuff like that, then they were a witch. But if the dog was okay, then they weren't a witch.
So that wraps up, well, not yet. So how they killed the witches. So usually in the swimming test, if they sunk, then they were already dead. Anyways, but Joan of Arc, the one that we're focusing on this week in our news, she was burned on a pole or a metal rod, and they just lit a fire and bonfire. It's not that fun. I'm just kidding. It's very, very sad. They treated them poorly. Anyways, that wraps up our newscast for today. Have a good week and stay in school, kids.